It's 2024, that means it's a new year, it's a new transfer window, and there is new players leaving and joining the SPFL. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football for your daily transfer roundup of the January 2024 transfer window. Now, it's the 1st of January, there hasn't been that many signings made. But there's a few, there's a couple, and there's a very big one, and there's an important one, especially down the bottom of the table. One that could give Livingston, perhaps, a chance of survival, as they have signed a 6'5" Australian centre forward. Yes, Davy Martindale says that they've got no money, they're pretty much doomed, they're going to be shopping in Primark. Now, I've never seen anything this big in Primark, but yes, they have signed striker Tete Yengai from Ipswich Town. The 6'5" Australian spent the first half of the campaign on loan with Finnish top-flight club Coups, with 2 of his 13 appearances coming in the Europa Conference League. Although yet to score this term, Yengai did score 7 times in 7 games in a previous spell in Finland with VPS Vaasa and spent time with Northampton Town last season. He has signed a 2.5-year deal and could be involved in Tuesday's game with Hearts. This is what Davy Martindale, though, had to say about the signing. Quote, Tete comes with some great references and did very well in Finland. It's a difficult window to attract players, but it has been made even more difficult considering our league position. So it speaks volumes for the player and his attitude that he is embracing the challenge we face as a club. I'm really happy we have managed to bring in a much needed offensive option, albeit I hope that we can add a further player in this area in the window too. End of quote. So Martindale's happy. Look, I think Livingston needs strikers. They can't score. They cannot score. So they need to bring in forward players. They need to bring in strikers. But the problem is, this guy hasn't scored this season. He's not scored. He's made 13 appearances and he hasn't scored a goal. And the guy's a striker. I mean, that's sort of Sam Lammers type of numbers right there. So I don't know if I'm filled with confidence that he's coming in and that he's going to save Livingston. Is he better than what Livingston currently have? Bruce Anderson and Joel Newbley and Danny Guthrie, I think, is another striker. You know, there's another one they've got as well whose name is completely just surpassing me right now, but bypassing me even. But no, I don't think this guy's going to do it. He could be good, but based on the numbers, based on his form so far, we're going to need to see a different guy come in. He's going to need to fucking hop around like a kangaroo. He's going to need to be jumping every inch of that 6'5" body to try and get Livingston out the relegation zone. At the moment, I think they're going to need a lot more than this guy. But here, it's a start. It's day one. Livingston have put in a bit of business. And it's not bad for a club that apparently had no money and a club that was shopping in Primark. So we'll see what Tete Yengai can do. He could start tomorrow against Hearts. I think that's personally a little bit too early for him, but you never know. Livingston are desperate. They might just risk playing this guy, so we'll wait and see. Now, speaking of someone that's not coming into Scotland, someone that is leaving Scotland is unfortunately Dundee's left-back Owen Beck. He has been recalled by Liverpool after injuries to both Andy Robertson and Kostas Temiskas. So Liverpool struggling at the moment. They don't have a lot of depth at left-back, and they've called Owen Beck back to the Premier League, which is a huge blow for Dundee. Beck has played all 20 games for Dundee in the league this season, and he has scored twice in the opening half of the campaign. And he also earned his first Wales call-up this season. So Owen Beck has been fantastic for Dundee. He's been a big reason why they've been so good, in my opinion. I don't think Dundee's going to fall apart. I think Dundee will be okay this season, but it's a big blow. It's a massive blow, and unfortunately for Dundee, there's not a lot they could do about it. Liverpool had the option to recall him, and they've taken that option. A Dundee statement, though, did read, quote, Owen has been outstanding on and off the field. We would like to thank him for all he has given and wish him all the very best for the future. Owen will always be welcome back in Dundee. End of quote. He might be welcome back, but I think just due to how good he looked, I don't see him going back to Dundee. Even if he is loaned out next season, perhaps, I think Liverpool will be looking for a bit of a bigger club, you know, a club playing at a higher level. I think they'll be looking for a little bit more from Owen Beck. But it was a good 5 months while Dundee had him. And maybe Dundee will look to replace him. Who knows? In this transfer window, we might see Dundee now go out and try and get a left-back in. What else is happening? We have another player returning to the Scottish Premiership. Former Dundee United teenage star Kerr Smith is heading to St Johnstone on loan from Aston Villa. So we know Kerr Smith, he went to Aston Villa, signed from Dundee United, approximately around £2 million. He was supposed to be the next big wonder kid. If you looked at him on Football Manager, he had all the kind of stats that you want for a centre-back. Aston Villa signed him, but he just wasn't ready, and it's hard to turn down a Premier League club, I get that, but I think that he probably should have, or he could have signed with Aston Villa, but maybe with a year or a 2-year loan-back deal to Dundee United. Maybe that's something they could have put in place. He's went to Aston Villa, hasn't been getting game time. He's been playing in the Football League Trophy, but that's not enough. You know, he's not going to go to Aston Villa. The likelihood of him going to Aston Villa and playing in the Premier League was unlikely. But now he'll get game time, coming back to Scotland, heading to St Johnstone. St Johnstone, I think he will do well there. We know defensively, Craig Levein likes to set up his teams. Solid structure, hard to beat, and I think Kerr will be a massive benefit, and he will be a big game player for St Johnstone. And for me, St Johnstone are safe this season. I think Craig Levein's come in, he's steadied the ship. This is a great signing right here for them, and I think they will actually make more signings. I think St Johnstone will be looking to push on. Maybe that was part of the reason why Craig Levein decided to come back to football and decide to join St Johnstone. Maybe he was told that there will be money available and that he will have the ability to bring in some of his own players in this window. So for me, it's a good signing for St Johnstone. Can't really ask for much more. And I'm excited to see Kerr back in the Scottish Premiership because he was supposed to be the next big thing. I think going to Aston Villa has kind of hampered his career a little bit, but maybe this loan spell at St Johnstone can revive it. So what else do we have? We have Serie A outfit Atlanta targeting Celtic midfielder Rocco Fata. Now we know Rocco Fata hasn't really featured much. He did get a few games under Ange Postecoglou, but with Brendan Rodgers, he just hasn't really been favoured at all. In a season that Celtic have struggled for wingers, you look at the out-wide position Celtic have, and the likes of Yang just hasn't done it. Mikey Johnson gets, abused. Mikey Johnson gets called shit. James Forrest has passed it. Celtic have not got, they're not gifted, they're not blessed with a bunch of good wingers, or at least a bunch of wingers that the club and fans seem to like, but Rocco Fata still can't get anywhere near the team, and now it looks like the 18-year-old could be heading out in a deal that would cost approximately €400,000 in compensation. So not a good deal for Celtic if they lose this guy, because he was talked up to be really good. I mean, there was a lot of hype about Rocco Fata, and I think that if he does leave, then Celtic might be a bit disappointed with that figure, because I thought they could have potentially got more for him, but hasn't happened, and we'll just have to wait and see whether this deal goes through or not. And finally, Motherwell are in the race with English clubs to sign Hull City star James Forlong. So Hull City are ready to loan out former Brighton star James Forlong in January, with Motherwell and several League 1 and League 2 clubs keen on bringing him to their club. And I think we knew that Motherwell were going to be busy in this transfer window. Again, I don't think they've got the budgets of some of the bigger clubs in the league, but you look at their form. Up until the last win against Livingston there, they'd went 16 games without a victory. That's got to be concerning. They've not replaced the goals that they lost through Van Veen last season, and that has ultimately cost them this year. They also sold Max Johnson, and they just haven't got anywhere near the quality that he had. So it does make sense that they're looking to strengthen their squad in this window. And I think that Stuart Kettlewell will be looking to bring in multiple players. I can see Motherwell bringing in 4 or 5 players minimum in January. Albeit, I don't think it's going to be big money signings by any means, but maybe they're doing the same shopping as Livingston. Maybe Stuart Kettlewell and Davy Martindale, they'll be in the same aisle at Primark. Maybe they'll be fighting over the same bra in the fucking discount section, pulling it like a Christmas cracker. What do you think? Livingston, Motherwell, no money, shopping in Primark. Could be happening, guys, in January 2024. Anyway, that's it for today. Like I said, not a lot of news. Biggest thing is probably the return of not Rocco Fata, the return of Kerr coming back to the league. I think that's a good deal for St Johnstone, and obviously Dundee will be gutted that Owen Beck has had his loan deal cut short. Anyway, that's it, guys. Let me know in your comments down below. We'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully tomorrow we've got a wee bit more news in Scotland regarding the transfers. Till then, though, peace.